All right, ma'am. So who do I have here with me today?
My name is Patricia David Martin.
Awesome. First of all, nice to meet you. Secondly, how old are you and what's your current living situation?
I'm houseless and not homeless. I'm
First
43
time I
years
heard
old.
that. But
Yep.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm 43 years old. I live in the River Bottom.
River Bottom.
Yep.
I have never seen you there, but
I live there every night.
really?
Every day.
And have you seen me before?
I don't know.
I'm there
no.
a lot.
No, I've seen your family member.
Okay.
I stay right between McClintock and then before this first set of tunnels.
Okay.
I stay in the mud.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. You stay in the real deal.
I stay in the mud. I sleep with the Narfs.
That's crazy. Could you
I sleep with
please
the animals.
explain to me what the Narfs are,
The
please?
Narfs are bacterial things from other places.
Wow,
They
that
make
is
other animals.
awesome,
it's
dude.
crazy. Yeah.
And you actually see these things. So it's true what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
That there's like
Oh, there's all kinds of animals.
6 foot like things.
Oh, the water beasts, the big water buffaloes.
Dude, that's
Yep.
gnarly.
Yep.
One of these days, just promise me that you'll take
see 'em
me to
crossing
see
the
one.
water.
I gotta see
If
it.
you stand on the bridge, they cross every afternoon. They come through the old river area.
Oh my gosh. So it's
Yeah.
like where raw bacteria meets, chemistry
Animals.
reacts,
Animals
and it's
meet.
like
Yeah.
boom. That's so gnarly. That's crazy. Okay, so I mean, how long have you been homeless? Houseless.
8 years by choice.
8 years by choice. Now that's a unique thing to say.
I never plan on living in a regular house again.
Society again.
And
Why is that?
Not society. I just think that if people went back to when people with simple tools and simple life are simple recycling.
Yes, ma'am.
So all this technology led us to all these polymers, and it led to God being polymered and everything being polymered and plastic polymered. If we got rid of the polymers and lived in a teepee and went back to tribal life, things would be so much simpler. The westernization
I
killed
agree
the
with
world.
you.
That was the first impression of westernization.
Man, you're intelligent.
Yeah.
For one. For two, you're very, very intelligent. So I just gotta give you a shout out on that. Secondly, thirdly, actually, I can't believe that, man, you just took the words right out of my mouth. These they call them smartphones are really, to me, in my mind, are what's destroying the world. Although you can get and learn a lot and you can Google anything nowadays, it makes kids argue with parents nowadays. They say, "Google it, Dad," and it's
what?
just a problem starter to me.
Everything that drove unity away from tribal led to downfall. It disconnected everything from nature.
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
If you recognize patterns of war and you plan 3 steps up before it, they will never win. I was a child that was given up war research
Yeah.
and raised by a parent who was not my blood parent, and there are laws that are struggling for power right now. Elders that are 1,000 years, people that have reincarnated the same 500-700 people their whole life. They have inherent memory. We don't have all inherent memory. I lived and died 7 times before this life.
That is.
And I remember bits and pieces of it. But I died as a childhood, never giving birth. And then in this life I gave birth and my children were separated from me and I didn't know it. But the ones that I was given in replacement that I thought were mine, I loved them.
Yeah.
And it was all to make everything horrible so that a racist person could say, this is the evidence that racism must stand. Because the deal was, if I went back not racist, that they would not be racist. That was the promise.
Wow.
So I say, I raised 3 beautiful children, and I knew the one in the middle was never mine. And then I thought maybe it was mine. But she was never really mine. She was made for a purpose. I just never knew the purpose. And then I learned all 3 children were never mine.
Okay.
See, the DNA is a lie. When you birth a child, 2 people come together, they birth a child. It's either your DNA or my DNA. But they were trying to blend it so it's a 50-50 mix. I don't think that's healthy. I think that I can be your surrogate and I birth a child, it's your DNA, it's your child, I was your surrogate. If we birth a child together and it's ours, then it's ours. The medicines they make today are making it so it's a 50-50. Just so the one that's inbred and purebred can come and say, my blood is stronger than yours. And when they mix the mixed child in with the strong bed, but what if that happens and the one that's 50-50 runs all over the purebred? Doesn't that make that stronger?
Man, that's
Because that's exactly what's happened to mine. My children have very strong DNA, and they don't have white DNA.
Okay, so
And
speaking about your children, how many children do you have?
I birthed 3 personally, and I sacrificed my only white son that was my purebred.
Okay, and how do they feel about you being out here willingly?
They were confused. Now they're not confused. I can only hope that they are learning the medicine that the white man has kept away from them. The Omars.
Yeah.
The Omars only wanted to teach so many people, but there was more medicine than the Omar medicine. There were the Edwards and the Ummids, and on the papyrus, the medicine.
Yeah.
Medicine itself, one of that institution is all false. All the medicine came down to these basic laws. Everything was basic laws. There were no institutions. They frumped up these fake institutions. So the white man, because he felt he was God mighty, he felt his son should never surpass him, should run all over everything else. But in a tribe, they cherish the girl and the boy.
True.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And in the westernization, they only cherish the white male of white and white. And that was the lie. That was the true lie.
And that was
Jesus
the big
Christ
lie.
Wasn't
Yeah.
white. Muhammad wasn't white. Where was the white on white? Because God, I saw God today. God was not white. That's all I can end with that.
Wow.
He was either from Belize or Uruguay, and he spoke English well, and he was this big, and he wasn't white. He was black as black, and that's my new God.
That's a
Because he's the one
heck
that
of a
wants
testimony.
to sacrifice. He's sacrificing statistically to end the AIDS and the despair around the world. He's not sacrificing for financial gain. He is not sacrificing for anything more than science. Not to blend the blood, but to alleviate the despair of disease and disaster.
And now that you're on the Lord topic, is there ever going to be someone to come back down? Do you believe in that?
Yeah. There's all kinds of prophets. There's Elijah ones being born right now.
Okay, yeah.
There's Isaiah's. There are all kinds of prophets that are coming back because the white man couldn't hold them down.
Couldn't hold them down.
So I'm not a teacher supporter. I'm sorry. You don't oppress. You don't teach oppression and oppression and put under stress for the blonde hair, because the great gods of war, yes, they were of pheromones, but they were not of mixed blood. No one oppressed them. They oppressed themselves. So
I would agree. So prior to you being
asymmetrical
homeless,
is not always beautiful. Lovely out for the cleft palate. The cleft palate is not human at all. The cleft palate is not bad. The cleft palate will heal us of a lot of things.
Hey, I've read something about that somewhere. Not to get on something else, but I gotta ask you, what was your childhood like prior to you wanting to become homeless?
Oh, I didn't. I'm not homeless now. I can go home.
You can go home.
I could go home to where they call home.
That's
home. My father's house that raised me, and his name is Daniel Lee Ilgefritz.
Was he a good father?
He was a good person.
That's all I needed.
He was the most integrity. It's all it was integrity, and he was about equality in the end. And I don't know if he started out racist or not, but I know that my mother was his 4th wife, as I knew his mother. And when I was 9 and I learned she wasn't my mother, she was never any less the mother, except for they separated us because of her drug habit.
Yeah.
And I wish they wouldn't have done that. Now, all the research they've done, they can do all the research they've done.
Yeah.
You know.
Go ahead, folks. Yeah, go ahead, buddy. No problem. How you guys doing? How you folks doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. How you folks doing? How you doing,
They've
Jim?
done all this research. And it's time to put the evidence from the research together.
Yes.
Separating mother from child to drug use is not the right way to go.
Nope, I don't think so.
And separating anyone from their own child is not the right way to go. If she's violent towards her child, let that blood kill itself out. Racism will kill itself out. That would kill itself out. Don't make bloods blend. Don't keep bloods from blending.
And so you mean to tell me you have a place to go home and you still choose to be out here with everybody out here?
I'm not out here. Well, I'm in the river bottom. I'm with the animals. I'm with the little odd things.
Say the name again. That name is gnarly. Say it again.
It's called a narf.
Narf.
Yeah.
That is dope.
I've had 3 children I partially raised. I've given birth to other things that were not human.
That is awesome.
And I love it. I'm a surrogate for life.
Hey, I will never forget that name
Yep.
from this day forward.
Yep.
I live with the Narfs.
You know,
That's so
I would have
awesome.
to, if I ever did have a white child, it would have to come from a man that has also given birth to something other than a child.
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
Yeah.
And like I told you, you know, I'm not going to hold you long. I got one last question for you. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years from now? If you can think out that far.
Okay, 5 years from now, I'm pledging myself to the river bottom until I can make that a sacred garden area and not a slaughter when the slaughter is being cleaned up. Underneath Tempe Police Station, the old police station right now, there are people that have been starved out because Satanism is so strong. And every day I go home and go to sleep, I can hear the people. And I've heard many children and people unfortunately suffer and die. And
that's awful.
Police brutality and whatnot. And in 5 years, I see that the bad people that oppressed here, I can see that it will be alleviated from here. Will I still be alive? I don't know. But will they come in with the police and kill us off in the river bottom? Who knows? But I can promise you, I will be here until that oppression's gone, at least.
And there it is there. Hey, I want to thank you so much for this brief, interview. It was amazing. I learned a lot in this interview.
And the biggest drug dealers in Maricopa County are the Combs and the county sheriffs here. And that is a white organization.
I believe it. One last thing. What is everybody talking about this midnight group or something?
That's
it's called the.
Yeah, it went from Midnight Productions to Twilight Darlings.
There you go.
Twilight Darlings, and which was a police-affiliated child sex ring to make drugs.
Is it real?
Babies. Oh yes, it's all very real. Comes down a perversion of an occult somewhere between David and somewhere between. It's where black and white occults have come together in child pedophilia and perversion.
Oh,
it is so
God,
real.
that's awful.
It is so real. It is all about, I'll be white racist and you be black racist, and we'll take out our enemies. And anyone that tries to intermix, I will enfold your enemies and then kill off the mixed blood, and you enfold my enemies and kill off the mixed blood. And then it'll just be me and you because the Cunningham once dropped a black one and a white one. And I say to you, they should have put it in the cow. They should have put it in the cow. It would have had better temperament.
Can I speak with you?
Yeah, you sure can. Let me end this one real quick.
Thank you very, very much.
Man, thank you, ma'am. This was an honor and a pleasure to talk with you.
Yep.
I've always wanted to talk to someone who lived deep in the river bottom.
I don't live deep. I don't go back there, but I know the militia is changing colors, and that any good law officer should know that the good militia is multicolored.
Yeah.
They are not against the good uprising. So if you come across the militia area and there's a black man and a white man, they are the only good black and white people that are working together. Is that militia? That's
and
now
there it is there.
And to my kids, Juliana and Danielle Goodall and Sharice Marie Stewart, I love you guys. I love you so much. I miss you so much. And to my dad, Daniel Lee Fritz, I love you. And to my brother, Joshua Paul Fritz, I love you. And I don't know if your name will ever be on the bank, but I promise you won't be murdered for being a white man.
And there it is, said by the woman herself. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and pleasure. I hope next time I see you, you'll be doing better than you are today.
Yep.
And hopefully we can get a part 2. Thank you, ma'am, so much.
If you got anyone that desperately needs somewhere, if they think that if they, I don't turn people away, but if they are looking for someone that has been lost down there, then they should go and get some peace of mind with that.
And there it is there.
But the missing bodies are in the bottom of the old Tempe
All right.
station in the back corner.
There they go. Thank you so much, ma'am.